Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Appelboom Bites podcast. This is already episode number 9 and we have a very special guest here on the show. But first, let me introduce our co-host, David Parker AKA Figboot on Pants.
Hey, how you
Hello,
doing this
David.
morning?
It's great to have you here again. How are you?
Well, good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really fun. We are
Great to
recording
meet
this
you, finally.
at noon. It's really cool. It's now noon in Europe, but it's like 6 o'clock in the morning for you. So it's really early, and you cannot see that on your face. So
Yes,
that's really good. I like that.
I'm barely awake right now, so if I can't speak correctly, then that's why.
No, but you're good. You're good.
If you fall asleep, we will wake you
Thank
up.
you.
No worries. And of course, our special
Okay.
guest of this show. Welcome, Marco Frei, the CEO of Otto Hutt. Welcome, Marco. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. Good. We are good. It's noontime here, and we made. I went
Mm-hmm.
through the production this morning. We have some really good things going on. The
Mm-hmm.
production is running to restock everything at Otto Hutt for the Christmas countdown. Yeah, so that we are prepared.
Yeah, you're ready for the holiday season, so everybody can just order Otto Hood fountain pens with us, and we can deliver them within a week without a problem.
Definitely, everything is on stock, and we are at the same time developing the new items for next year, and lots of colorful ideas. So no, we are. This is always an exciting time between preparing the Christmas season, the last deliveries, and also to prepare the new year.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to this period. It's always so busy. My family never sees me at home, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Before we start the show, we always do a pen check first. David, would you like to start with your pen check?
The pen check.
I have this model here, which is a Otto Hutt, and this is the sterling silver design '07. I've
Nice.
been able to review a number of the Otto Hutt pens on my channel. I did a review of the Design 4, the one with the blue and engraved barrel, and then also a Design 8 and the Design C. And so I'm looking forward to taking a look at this
Mhm.
Design 7. And like I said, this was the sterling silver model. And I on each of the pens that I've reviewed from your company, I've been really impressed with the build quality as well as the nib is outstanding on it as well. So I've enjoyed taking a look at the ones that I have shown, and then I have this one coming up in the somewhat near future.
Very
Nice.
nice. Very nice.
Looking great. Marco, what pen do you carry with you today?
I carry the new Design 08, which we
Hmm.
are very proud of, and
I can imagine.
with the PVD coated grip section, the big 18 karat gold nib,
Mhm.
and the spring loaded clip, and of course the pull and twist mechanism.
It's really
I thought
nice.
that's
It's
an
really nice, and
interesting
it's
system on the back of the pen. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you've learned how to use it, it was kind of satisfying to use because it's a little bit it's different than anything else out there on the market in regard to we'll call it a piston filler, but just the way you
Yeah,
use it is a little bit different. I always kind of like things that are a little unique and different, and the piston mechanism on that pen is.
definitely. We made that for the first time for the Design C, um, and then here we developed it even further. Maybe you can get an idea of how many how many pieces it consists, this pull and
this is
twist
the demonstrator, right?
mechanism. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it is true that you have to get used to it, but really for a fountain pen connoisseur, it's almost a must to have
I
this.
likened it almost to like a
Yeah.
car, driving a car with a stick shift, where you at first have to engage the clutch and put it into neutral, and then it's in neutral, and once it's in
Yeah,
neutral, then you have to put it into gear in order to
yeah.
in order to operate it.
I mean, when we collaborated with Mike Brown for the first time for the creation of the Design C, his design guideline was, yeah, like this, and he wanted that everything would be one big unity, and so he didn't want to just screw off this knob to activate the pump. So we discovered the pull and twist mechanism, first generation, for the Design C, and then here for the Design 08, so that you even can, for the Americans, you can post a cap.
Is that something
Yeah,
you
is that
feel is
really an
more
American
prevalent in the
thing to
Western?
post
Definitely,
to post
definitely. I
Manga?
mean,
Is it?
it stands out for a long time. They're really the only country where that is an absolute must is United States.
Oh, okay. I guess
Yes.
we just lose the caps of our pens too much.
No, because for anybody else, you have so strong hands. So for everybody else, it would be just too maybe too heavy. So, but that with Design
It's
7,
funny. That's
it's
a funny fact. I
really
didn't know that
it's
actually.
great.
And
I
even we
mean,
have the store in
yeah.
Boston and in Europe. So
So
wow.
yeah. No, so that's my now my pen, and I use always an EF nib, extra fine nib,
Oh,
on my
Oh
fountain
yeah.
pens. I like that.
Is your handwriting that small, or is
nice.
it just?
No, you can write everywhere in calendar. You can, yeah. So I know
True.
I like the EF extra fine nib on, yeah,
What's your
on
preferred
the
nib,
design.
David?
Typically, I go for a medium, or potentially a broad, but I usually like a medium nib with decent amount of ink flow to it. I'm generally not fond of some of I'll call it scratchiness or high feedback of some of the fines or extra fine nibs, even though there's some out there that are
Hmm.
remarkably smooth. But I generally go for the mediums. But I've over the years have done a better job of trying to branch out and experiment and experience other nibs, other than just kind of staying in my lane of what I like and then just like only getting that. So I'm trying to branch out more and more.
Yeah, sometimes you have to think out of the box, try
What
different things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to experience different things as opposed to just, going to the restaurant and always ordering chicken.
True,
Sometimes you need
true,
to order something a little bit different to appreciate the full menu.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
sure. I mean, we here at Otto Hutt, I mean, we are able to serve all the meals, because I mean we have all the production steps in house. I mean, you can Joost, he was visiting us,
Yes.
and he was, yeah, making this beautiful video with
Yeah.
how it's made,
Yeah.
and also the construction. Joost was amazed with a construction where
It is.
the
It is.
yeah,
So
where
so
the
so I was
ideas
in
are
the
built
factory.
into reality.
So I was in the factory, David, and honestly, it's like a really, really, really big factory. It's not like a small boutique where pens are made, but this is like um, I wouldn't say mass production because that has a negative vibe around it, but they're really artisans working, craftsmen working on jewels. These are literally jewels. What we're talking about. A lot of sterling silver is used. Marco, you told me once how many kilos of sterling silver or tons of sterling silver uh, do you turn
20
into
tons of
fountain pen?
sterling silver.
Yeah,
We
that's amazing.
20 tons of sterling silver we transform into writing instruments every year.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, yeah, David, if you haven't watched the video yet, you definitely should. the how it made video of Otto Hutt writing instruments. Let's go to my pen check before we
A lot.
forget that. I have this one here, and I have this here. It's Design 04, or do I call it Design 04 or is it Design 04, Marco?
Design 04. You can say
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Design
It's a
0.
Design 04. It's a Design 04, and I have it here because there's a really interesting thing going on here in the store. Normally, when children graduate from high school or get presents from their grandparents or their parents, they usually get a Parker, a Waterman, or a Shaver fountain pen in the Netherlands. That's kind of a common thing here. But nowadays, I see a really transformation going to the Otto Hutt 04. And if you look at this pen, you can understand why, because it's not a really big pen. It's quite slim, and for children it's a perfect gift to have them start learning how to use, or not really start learning because they have already started, but it's a really next step fountain pen for children. And so that's why I brought this pen here on the show. Another thing that I really like about this one is the matte black finish, also on the metal parts. So yeah, it's a beautiful pen. I really like it.
Yeah,
Great
it's
job,
done.
Marco.
It's done with the coating is done with ruthenium, which is a metal
Yeah,
of the platinum materials, and gives it a really a nice, cool look.
The one I
yeah.
reviewed
No, it's
was
a
the blue wave, and I really liked the engraving on the barrel of that blue wave, and thought that it looked very sharp.
Yeah, the wave, that is a guilloche technique. I mean, we have many with the polishing, with turning, milling. We have many operations coming from the jewelry industry, and before in the trade there were in the trade association for jewelry there were three departments: jewelry, watches, and uh, pocket articles. And in the pocket articles, the main thing were writing instruments. And there were goldsmiths trained to produce writing instruments. And only in the 70s, 80s, the production of making of writing instrument got more industrialized.
yeah, because
Very nice.
Pforzheim is a city in Germany, which is really focused on. It's like a jewelry city, right, Marco?
Yeah, I mean, the world famous brands come from there. The 80% of all exports of jewelry come from this one town, and also exports from Germany come from here. And no, we have a great infrastructure for us with labor, with suppliers. We get everything around our place,
That's
and
really
that
convenient.
is really an advantage.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Now, Joost,
Yeah.
something that I didn't realize I did personally until someone pointed it out to me the other day is my home cell phone number, or my cell phone number, there's a zero in the first part of the number and a zero in the second part of the number. But when someone asks me what my phone number is, I say zero when I say in the or I'm sorry, I say O on in the first part, but I say zero in the second part. So I say it two different ways whenever I'm giving someone my phone number. I don't know why I do it. It's just the way my brain works. But I say it two different ways within the same phone number, which makes no
But
sense.
what's the
But
correct? How do you? Yeah, what's the correct way?
Yeah.
I think it's whatever gets your point across. Whatever gets your message across. Then
Yeah.
that's what works.
Yeah. Okay.
When I was younger, I learned the O from the tennis
Oh yeah.
counting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good one. Yeah. No, zero. I don't know why zero. I think because O, O can be a lot of things. So zero is really like zero. Yeah, there's one zero.
Yeah, O could be two things. It
Yeah.
could be like literally the letter O,
Yeah.
but a zero is usually
It's
just the
clear.
one thing.
All right.
So yes.
Let's do a small weekend recap because last weekend we had Black Friday. It was really crazy here at our store, both in the store actually and online. We had a lot of orders, and everybody that's still waiting for their order, I'm so sorry, but we try to handle everything as soon as possible. You know, we're just a small retail store. If we get over 500 orders, I think actually we're 600, but 500, 600 orders. That's a lot of for us. We're not, we don't have a warehouse like Amazon or something. So I'm so sorry if you have to wait a little longer, but we try to handle all the orders as fast as possible. David, did you buy something nice for Black Friday?
You know what? I didn't buy anything nice in regard to pens.
It doesn't matter.
I
Something else
did
is
post
also
a
good.
video on my channel. You know what? I need to do. Well, I just bought siding for my house. That's
Yeah.
not the most exciting purchase, but it was a rather large check I had to write, and
Yeah.
so I'm still reeling from that. But I need to start thinking of Christmas and other people in the house do a better job of buying things throughout the year, and so then come excuse me, come Christmas time, they already have all their shopping done because they've bought things, in June and July that they just save. Uh, and I need to do a better job of that because then now I'm stuck with a month to go, and I need to all of a sudden pull out a list and figure out what everyone's getting and do that sooner rather than later so I can get things delivered.
I really
But
recognize
yeah,
this. I really recognize this.
I recently posted a video on my channel about a holiday gift guide
Yeah.
to where I kind of go over some prices of kind of entry level and next step level, and then higher level if you were looking to get gifts for folks. And then actually coming up next week, I have a my annual video of my favorite things where I kind of go over my favorite purchases and discoveries over this past year and kind of a highlight of this past year. I have that coming up
Oh,
as well. So
nice.
those are some of the things I've been focusing on around the Black Friday time.
No, that's a video that we're looking forward to. Marco,
Good.
did you buy something nice for Black Friday, or are you already done
No,
Christmas shopping?
no, no,
No?
no. When we were no, no, we yes. I mean, I didn't buy anything, and usually we do the Christmas shopping 1 or 2 Saturdays. We go into town, and there everything is bought
But
there.
the thing what I really
So
like about
no,
Germany is the Christmas markets. That's really,
it's a Christmas market.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy. I have a couple of friends. They always try to organize trips to Germany because from Amsterdam where I live, it's like 2 3 hour drive, so that's doable.
yeah. To
Um,
To Aachen or
yeah,
Cologne.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
David, have you ever visited such a Christmas market?
No, I haven't. Now there was when growing up outside of San Diego and Los Angeles, we had a place up in the mountains called it was called Santa's Village. It was
Yeah.
like a little Christmas village that you drove up to, and it was up in the mountains, and there might have been a little bit of snow, or there was probably more fake snow around the place, but but that was more of like a place you would take kids up in the mountains that had Santa's Village and some rides and things like that, but nothing like I've seen for the Christmas villages in Germany, which are large shopping
Yeah,
experiences as
that's
opposed
amazing.
to
But it's
like
not
a
only
amusement
shopping;
park
it's
type thing.
also having a great vibe.
No,
With yeah, it's
it's for with the Glühwein, with special bakery, as Lebkuchen from Nuremberg, and no, just last weekend. I mean, we live in a very small place. The area where we live is composed by villages with 2 3 thousand inhabitants only. And in our small place, there was also a smaller Christmas market, which was very nice and cozy. You could
oh
meet
nice.
all everybody, and so yeah, that is also nice. And it was quite cold. We have no snow, but it was very cold, so could enjoy your hot wine with some herbs in it. Yeah, that was good.
Already preparing for the cold December days. Marco, you already talked a little bit about the Otto Hutt design 08 or 08, whatever you would like to call it. But I think it's a great success. And just recently, you already showed us the gold version, but also the black BVD, the all black BVD version was also launched. Do you have any further plans for other colors to be in this collection?
For the next season, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, it was introduced recently,
Yeah.
the dark gold version and the PVD plated version, and there are really no plans to enlarge that. I mean, we have the this version in 4 nib sizes, black version in 4 nib sizes, and also the rollerball version. And that is, I think we are fine with that at the moment. Yeah,
But it would be possible,
Now,
right, to put another color on it?
sure, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have here in our electroplating, we still have a couple of more gold colors. We could have palladium or platinum version, rhodium is there. So we
But
have plenty to
that's also
to
something
go
unique
for.
from Otto Hutt that you can do the plating in house. So a lot of factories that I've been to, they can do a lot of stuff, but the plating is never done inside their factories. And I think
It's a complicated thing. I mean,
Otto is the
and
only one.
we develop that even further. So it's a waste-free electroplating, and which is really unique in the trade. And so we have 2 master craftsmen taking care for the electroplating, the water recycling. As no wastewater goes outside the company. That it's a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of headaches sometimes, but still it's good. We have a great quality control. There we make sweat tests regularly. We measure precisely the thickness of the layers. Yeah, and so we are good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
it seems like
And
when.
also,
Oh, go
we
ahead.
will be one of rarely the writing instruments manufacturers are certified, but we will be by the end of the year. We have the certification ISO 9001,
Oh, nice.
which
Very
is
nice.
also a
Congratulations.
challenge.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's a really big challenge. That's not easy to get.
Yeah. I
It,
mean,
it it's
we have
oh,
also
go ahead.
already the structure, but now we need to do also documentation.
Ah, okay.
Very
David.
nice. Now, it seems like for a pen manufacturer, there is choices to be made as far as what is done in house and then what is done outside of house. And it there's so many different elements of expertise that come into play. Sometimes it might be easier to say, okay, there's another company that's an expert in plating, and so we'll just go to them to do the plating because they do really well for plating. What goes into the decision to say, you know what, we don't want to go outside of the company for this particular thing that might be totally different than what you've done in the past, and you say, okay, we want to do our plating in house, and so that's like a totally different discipline than maybe some of the manufacturing that you've done previously. What goes into the decision to bring that in house, and how do you go about kind of expanding on something like that isn't necessarily an area of your expertise right out of the box?
Yeah, that's correct. But we really try to do everything in house. I mean, over the years, we integrated printing, we integrated lacquering, and we couldn't work on that quality level if we have no control or expertise. So we integrated. Therefore, I mean, we have a lot of departments. You saw that, but they are small group only. Yeah, with laser engraving, polishing, the guilloche technique, everything is done in house. Yeah.
And you guys are doing your nibs in house as well. I forgot if you guys were or not.
No, we have no. That is something which we are missing.
For the future, maybe.
But therefore, I mean, I mean, we know how to do it,
Yeah.
but still, it's um, it's also a quantity issue. No,
Oh
the
yeah.
nibs we buy in
Yeah,
definitely.
and it just like some of the other things. I mean, that's a total different discipline, and you need to make sure that it's, it's financially worthwhile in order to bring
Mm,
it in house, so that you can.
mm,
You need to have enough quantity so that it makes financial sense in order to do so. But I can understand the desire to have total control over every aspect of the pen. So
yeah,
if anything goes wrong, you point at yourself. You can't point at anybody else.
yeah. That is what we try to do. But with
Though if something
nibs,
goes wrong, I usually point at Joost. Usually he's
Always,
a good scapegoat
always,
if
always.
something goes
I'm
wrong.
okay with do that. I'm okay with taking the blame. I'm okay with that, David.
it would be really a more also a fun thing to do. But right now we needed a lot of some personnel which we need on a daily basis. If they would be on this project for maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, we could reach a good standard. But right now it's not thinkable.
No, that
Um,
makes sense.
yeah, Marco, are there any new projects coming up soon for Otto Hutt that you would like to share with
Sure,
us?
definitely. I mean, this year we also had the furniture, the display material we introduced.
Yeah.
We opened new markets, and we introduced the models we announced. There is no more paper world show to gather to, so we did more traveling. We plan more traveling for next year, and also we we will introduce new items during the year also next year.
Is there already
But there we need to
something that
get
you would like to reveal? A little thing?
no, not really. The reason is, I mean, we had some sales conferences with our partners worldwide, and now we need to really narrow it down to what makes sense.
Yeah,
Now I
okay.
cannot announce anything which later
So
is
you have
not
you
is
have
not
you have a
going to
lot
happen.
of
But it
products
will be.
ready to announce, but you have to narrow it down like just a few to
We have to
make it
narrow
work
it
for you.
down because something. I mean, it will be colorful, more colorful than what we have so far. But we need to. Some things were a little bit too wild for our colleagues, for our partners. But
But the Design 04 collection
we
is
have,
already a quite colorful collection, right?
yes, I mean yes, the design 04 is the most important collection. Therefore, we have most choices that will be reduced a little bit. There will be one item introduced. The design 3, there will be some modifications. Yeah. So more or less.
Now, I know you have your distributor here in the U.S. Do you plan on attending or having a larger presence at any of the shows out here over the next year or so?
Do you mean that we come personally? That
Yeah.
would be great. It would be great to be in United States again. I mean, I was there. I was working at Wittnauer Watches at some point, and it was a great time. I lived in Connecticut, working in New York. It was really a greatest time in my life.
I can
Oh,
imagine.
wonderful!
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
to come back would be ideal. Yeah.
all right. There are some other new products that I would like to mention that are right now can be seen on the Appelboom.com website.
New products.
The first one that I would like to mention is the new Pineider Avatar UR Traveler fountain pens. So what Pineider did was they expand their Avatar range with the Avatar UR Traveler. It uses a new filling system. It's called the Twin Tank Touchdown, and this filling system it allows two writing positions, accommodating short and long writing sessions, which are activated with an ingenious mechanism inside the case back. David, Have you already seen this new launch?
Yeah, yeah. It kind of seems like kind of the dual chamber system that maybe you'll see on a lot of pens, where there's the forward chamber that is sealed when the piston is closed, and then when the piston is cracked, then you can have both chambers open. Pineiders are interesting. They're coming out with lots of different colors, and I was trying to see if it was the same on this particular model, but I've seen that for the majority of their pens, they are put together without any glue. That you could literally disassemble everything, every part of that pen, just with your hands. And that doesn't mean that it's just going to fall apart. And I've never had one with like parts fall apart, but it's constructed in a way that everything interlocks and holds. And it's just interesting that you could like literally totally disassemble the whole pen and put it back together with no problems. But it's an interesting brand.
Yeah, you mentioned that this kind of system, so not this system, but this kind of system, are already used by other brands. But what I find most interesting is that the price, it's not that high. So it's really an affordable price for such an innovative filling mechanism. So the
Yeah, it's
other
like
brands that
around
carry it,
just under 200 euros.
yeah. So that's really
So
cool.
yeah, that's an attractive price for we'll say a medium level pen, and that looks nice as well.
Yeah. It's available in a few colors. You can check them out on our appelboom.com website. It's made, by the way, with the ultra resin again. That's a mother of pearl compound resin in a special formula. It's developed in Florence for Pineider, and this compound, it is very stiff, and its exceptional features make it widely better than celluloid. Let's go to the other announcement that I would like to introduce, or the other pen that I would like to introduce. It's a Namiki. It's the Aya. It's called the Aya, and that means colored light in Japanese. So my Japanese is not that good. So if I pronounce it incorrect, please tell me, and I'm sorry for that. Um, it's a new collection. It's a permanent collection, and it is available in 4 colors. It's available in a red, a gray, uh, blue, of course, and a green. The red one is dedicated to the daybreak. The gray is colored to the powerful wines, and the blue is reference to the waters, and the green to the nature. What I really like about this is that it's made with colored lacquer and a pattern in Tokidashi Maki-e, Raiden, gold, or silver powder. So it's really, they're pieces of art. And yeah,
Yeah, it seems like the coloring on those are across all four are very subtle.
yeah,
They're very kind of subtle and muted looking, as opposed to bold and in your face. And it's nice to have a variety of different styles. And it seems like that they're just put together with a little bit more grace and style than a bolder maquille look or something like that.
yeah. It's more subtly done. It's interested. So yeah, it's really nice. David, before we're ending the show, is there something that you would like to ask Marco?
You know what, Marco? I am always fascinated about the origins of companies and the origins of names and things like that. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about who Otto Hutt was and why the company is named after this gentleman?
Otto Hutt was a silversmith in the town of Pforzheim, and he was a foreman at a big company. And yeah, he found his own way. The company was founded in 1920, and the Design C was made for the 100 years anniversary in 2020. Um, and he produced everything of sterling silver and also writing instruments. What we are still doing today of the original Otto Hutt line is letter openers and also toothpicks, sterling silver toothpicks. In some countries, they are sold quite well. And these two articles, yes, we still are doing, but they did everything out of sterling silver. And that was a good business until 1980s. And it was, yeah, more difficult. And then they introduced lacquerings and other techniques to have more variety. And yeah, as I told before, we bought this company and integrated it in our family business, and we made it the adaptation from products for sterling silver wholesalers. We made it fit for retail businesses.
Nice. Now, okay, one of my few vices that I have is I am always chewing on toothpicks like this or just on my desk. I always have toothpicks sitting on my desk, and I'm always gnawing on toothpicks. And I do not own any sterling silver toothpicks, but one of the things is once you've gnawed on it for a while, then you kind of break it in half and throw it away. I'd be afraid that I would use it for a while and then I'm throwing away I'd be looking for my sterling silver toothpick because I accidentally threw it in the
But
trash.
it has a little mechanical
Oh,
part.
okay.
I will send you one.
Oh, well, that would be very special.
David, I
I'll have
expect a
to make sure it
review
doesn't
on
get
this
in with my.
toothpick. I expect a review
For
from you.
Christmas.
I would certainly mention that because, like I said, that's one of my few vices. Is
Yeah.
I am always gnawing on toothpicks, and it will be interesting to see what a sterling silver one would be like.
Yeah,
What's
no, the toothpick comes out and you can push it back again.
Oh, okay. So it's
So,
not something you like keep in your mouth all the
no, no, no,
time. It's
no, no,
not.
no.
It's not like I'm walking around
it's
like
like
this all day long.
you activate it, you lock it, and then you push it back again, so it's
Oh, okay.
protected.
So almost like part of like a Swiss Army knife type
Yeah, sure.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing. I saw
Would
it.
that
I
be
saw it
interesting
when I
to
was there.
see?
Yeah. So David, so you're also a toothpick expert. Which brand of toothpicks is the best?
A diamond. It would be
Yeah.
diamond toothpicks are the best, except for they're a little bit harder to find in the U.S. now that I've seen. But I'm a big fan of diamond. Don't give me that flat crap either. I don't want to see any flat toothpick or any cinnamon toothpick. I don't want see any of that junk. It just needs to be a straight, round, traditional toothpick, and the diamond ones are usually the best, in my opinion.
Do you also do reviews about toothpicks, or is it only pens that you do, David?
Only pens. I have the Figboot on toothpicks.
Yeah, that
It's
would
it's
be
in
cool.
it's in the burgeoning state.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing if the trademarks are available, and if they are, then I might consider taking that venture a little bit further. We'll see if I can get some strategic partnerships, and then launch the brand.
I want to see. I
No,
want to
no,
see
I
a
mean, what
review
you're
of the
doing,
Otto
David,
Hutt toothpick at least.
David, what you're doing is, I find it really extremely important. So because we are, I mean, with watches, with the Swiss watches, they have such a big audience by themselves. They are such big companies, but we really are thankful that you are there, that you invest your time in these reviews. You are very deep into the matters of writing instruments, with production, with the design also. So thank you.
Well, thanks. It's fun. It's like an extension of the hobby. A lot of people enjoy this hobby and they get to use
Mhm.
their pens and things like that, and I certainly get to do that. But then also part of the fun is being able to kind of test and analyze and be able to see new things out there and build relationships with manufacturers and retailers and things like that. And it's a symbiotic relationship to where the manufacturers and retailers help provide me product to review, and then also on the back end it's a service to the community to be able to kind of give exposure to things, and especially things that they might not otherwise have exposure to. And like when with Otto Hutt, when you're basically trying to get more inroads into a country and into a market that you hadn't been in as much, that
Mhm.
I think getting exposure through reviews and things like that is something that helps and gets the information out about the community. It's one thing to, just see it in a catalog or see it online, but then if you see someone talking about it and using it and kind of describing and what it's about, then that can be a benefit as well. And that's, like what I would look for when I was first starting out. If I was interested in buying a pen, I'd go look for a review. So have someone tell me about it and show it to me, and so now I get to be on the other end of that and help provide those things. But thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and then one more thing, what we planned early next year
Mm-hmm.
in the first quarter, we will come out with really a complete new website,
All
which
right.
will be really top for not only for our industry, which is in some ways not the most digital in the
It's
forefront
improving. It's
of the
improving.
digital matters,
Mm-hmm.
but we will create something really innovative and nice.
Oh
Good,
wow! Really
will be
looking
great.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're already at the end of the show. David, I would really like to thank you for being the co-host with us again. It was a pleasure to have you again, and well, I will see you next week with another guest. Um,
Yes.
Marco, thank you so much for taking the time to chat here with us, to be with us here on the
No, thank
podcast.
you.
It's always great to talk. It's always great to talk with you. It's always great seeing you as well. I hope everybody's going to buy some Otto Hutt fountain pens with us. So for the Christmas gift. So yeah, you know where to get them. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to the show. If you're listening this through Spotify or Apple Podcast, and if you're watching to us on our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much again. And I hope I will see everybody next week. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.